I'm trying. Well, we gotta get some participation out of this troop right out here. That floor is soft, isn't it? That's why you're not going to sleep. The floor is soft. Okay, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. And I want to respond. I just want you to say, yes. Now in West Virginia we spell that Y-E-S. Now if I'm not satisfied with your response, you know what I do? I ask the question again. Until I'm happy with your response. So everybody ready for this? Yes! Thank you. Now adults cannot participate. They're too old. Okay? First question. Do you love America? Yes! I'm satisfied with that one. Number 2. Are you proud to be an American? Number 3. Do you love Texas? Yes! Now, how could you ask for anything better than that? I'm going to tell you a story, and if you don't understand it, then ask your teacher or your mother or father, and they'll explain to you the story. In every class, every group, there are Tommies. Do we have a Tommy in here? Anybody by the name of Tommy? Not a Tommy in the room? Do we have a Tommy adult? I know one.
There's one.
Well, in West Virginia, we have more Tommies and we know what to do with. That's because we can't dream up these names, I guess. Gee, we got a lot of Tommies. So in this teacher's class was about 6th grade, and she had a Tommy. Now Tommy has a bad reputation for some reason. All the Tommies are just kind of fidgety boys. They don't listen very well. So the teacher gave them an assignment one night. She said, I want you to go home, talk to your mother and father, grandpa, grandma, and I want you to come back tomorrow morning and tell me something using the word terminate. Nope, wrong word. Fascinate. I got my road, I can't even read my own writing. I want you to come back and tell me something that has the word fascinate in it. So they went home, and the next morning they came back, and the first little girl in the room, she was just so anxious to tell her story, and using the word fascinate. So she said, we were watching a movie last night, and it was fascinating. You're right. So he shook his head. That's what the teacher did. You're right. I didn't ask for fascinating, I asked for fascinating. So the next girl jumped up. Said, we watched a basketball game last night. I was fascinated with it. Oh. Now comes Tommy's turn. And the teacher is just about half afraid to ask Tommy what he's going to say. Because he don't recall. He said, well, my aunt got a new sweater. And it had on it 10 fasteners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The teacher says, you haven't used the word fascinate. You said fasteners. said, I know, I'm not done yet. Said, my aunt is a pretty good sized lady. And when she put the sweater on, she could only fasten 8. And the teacher fainted. I had a teacher from the 1st grade to the 8th grade, the same teacher. Her name was Naomi Morgan, and we had a little school, 1 room, and all of us, we were way out in the country, and all of us went to that 1 room, and she taught every grade. She taught all of them. Finally, if you got through the 4th grade, then you got to move into another section of the room. That kind of like a promotion thing. So I just moved from one place in the room to another place in the room, and now I'm in 5th grade. But I have the same teacher. And then she taught me all the way through my 8th grade. That's all she lived for. She was a teacher, and that's all she ever wanted to do or be. We need those. She, like many of your teachers, are very committed to what they're doing, or they wouldn't be here. But one of the things that Miss Thornton taught me, I never dared call her Naomi. One of the things that she taught me, as well as she taught all the others, was to love my country and to respect my flag. We pledged allegiance to the flag every morning. And then she taught us something that was known as the American's Creed. C-R-E-E-D. The American's Creed. Any of you out here ever heard of the American's Creed? That young man had. Well, good for you. There's so many happen, and go back, there's another one there. There's another one. Okay. Now you guys know where I'm going. But I'd like to tell you the American's Creed, and I hope that somewhere along the way you'll pick up the writing. It's in many, many history books. But pick up the writing of the American's Creed. Not only learn it yourself, but when you get up to our age, not my age, you won't ever be as old as I am, but when you get up and you begin raising family, then you teach it to your family. Because we all need to love America. And the American's Creed says this: I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed. That's you and me. A democracy in a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortune Therefore, I believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies. That's what many of these men over here were doing on Iwo Jima. And that's what our loved ones are doing today. Your loved ones are following in our footsteps, doing the very thing that this American creed says we as Americans must do. God bless each one of your hearts, and may America continue to be your very favorite place. Thank you very much.